Yeah, let's get started. Welcome to the Paralegal Certificate course informational webinar. Thank you to everyone that's joining us. And I'm going to let Stephanie take it away.
Okay, my name is Stephanie Elio. I'm one of the directors here at the Center for Legal Studies, and I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us today for this informational webinar. We're going to talk about the Center for Legal Studies, how we work with partner schools, and the ins and outs of the Paralegal Certificate course. This is our first ever webinar. We've got a great tech team, some of our staff in the background that are going to help through the chat and answer some questions for you as we do the presentation. And I want to set a few ground rules. When participating in the chat, we do want to answer your questions. Please be kind, make your questions relevant, and any inappropriate comments, you run the risk of being booted. So again, be nice, be kind, and we'll get to everything. I'm going to try to cover as much as I possibly can throughout the presentation. If I miss something that was not answered or our staff wasn't able to get to you, don't worry, we're going to have an open Q&A at the end, and we will also be able to send this presentation out afterward to all of you. So a little bit of background on the Center for Legal Studies. We are a training company, and we specialize in training legal support staff, paralegals in particular. We also train legal secretaries, legal investigators. We do LNC, legal nurse consultant. We've got about 15 different courses that specialize in various areas of the law, some that enable, once you've earned your paralegal certificate, you can specialize in things like immigration law, family law, bankruptcy, etc., e-discovery. And those are things that you can certainly browse our website for additional information, or even reach out to one of our enrollment counselors who can have one-on-one conversations with you to answer additional questions. But today we all came for one reason, and that is to learn about the Paralegal Certificate course. So before we talk about the online support system and how that online classroom works, I want to talk about the fact that this is a certificate, a non-credit certificate. It's not like when you're going to be in school 2 to 4 years, pursuing a degree, as I mentioned earlier. This is done in 14 weeks. It's delivered over 2 7-week sessions, and you will be job ready when you're done. That's the most important part. So let's go ahead and click that slide and talk a little bit about that virtual classroom. Our courses for CLS are done in an asynchronous format. What that basically means to you is that these courses are instructor-led. You've got classmates. There's connectivity. You're not hanging out there all by yourself. We've got video and printed tutorials to help navigating the system a breeze, but there's also things uploaded throughout your course. You're going to have real books that you read from. There is administrative and technical support for you, and you're also going to be able to watch those videos at any point in time. So when you register for one of our online classes, you simply pay your tuition, you're in. There's no application process. You don't need to wait to be admitted like you would a traditional degree program. These are open enrollment. So they are designed for busy learners. Our students come from all walks of life. Some are already in the legal industry, working in some capacity. They may even be paralegals already that never got their certificate, but looking for a promotion now and want to earn it. The curriculum is also designed for someone who has never been in the legal industry. Either way, it's all about learning practical, applicable skills that are going to have you job ready. As far as busy lifestyles, we really do understand that. Our students have got full-time jobs, spouses that want attention, small children underfoot. Some of our students are even caring for elderly parents. The beauty of this is that it's 24/7 accessibility. Instructors are going to post what your written and reading assignments are on Monday mornings. Deadlines are typically Sunday night. That enables you, with weekly assignments, to stay on track. You manage your own personal schedule week to week. It's not going to matter if you log on at 5 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or midnight. That information is there for you and ready, so you access it. Some of the learning outcomes are all posted in each individual syllabus for every course that we offer. Those are all available on our website. If you don't find them on your own, you can certainly connect with one of our enrollment counselors and they will help you navigate our website. But honestly, it's really pretty user-friendly. Some of the things that you'll learn in the Paralegal Certificate are legal research, legal writing, civil procedure, torts, evidence, legal citation. You can see many of them in the graphics there. The online delivery is broken out week by week over those 14, and there are weekly tests or quizzes, some kind of tool to determine that you've absorbed the information and know how to apply it correctly. Our grading expectations are 70% or better on every assignment that you do. And that is not because we want people failing out of the program. It's so that you can demonstrate you've got it. We don't do any cumulative grading. So when I say that, first thing people ask me is, oh my gosh, what happens if I fail a test? Well, if you fail a test, it doesn't mean you're going to bomb out of this program. It means you're going to take that test over. We need you to be able to have all the skills so that when you go out into the real world, you can demonstrate to that employer you know what you're doing. There's also weekly discussion boards, and that's where you can communicate with your instructor through email forums, but also your classmates on those discussion boards. Weekly participation is required, but again, you don't have to sit there at a specific time of day to participate. Discussion item is going to be posted on Monday mornings, and then you've got the week to add your comments. Okay. On the before we jump into career outlook, there's a couple things that I want to talk about. In regards to your weekly workload for this program, people want to know how much time am I going to spend. The average is about 8 to 12 hours, but I want to qualify that average. Okay, this is not a fluffy program. You are going to work hard, there is no doubt, but you're going to be ready to go when you're done, which is a good thing. That 8 to 12 hours estimate is based on your online time for looking at assignments, participating in the discussion boards, and your reading assignments. Now, if you are the type of person that's got excellent study habits, you manage your own time well, and your reading comprehension is really strong, then you may take a little less time. If you are the type of person who needs to read things multiple times before you really absorb it and get it, then it may take you a little bit on the longer end. So you know you, and you can gauge that for yourself. Where can you work? You know, everyone knows paralegals work in law offices. That really is a given, okay? What a lot of people don't know is how transferable this skill set really is. Every major corporation has a legal department. They hire paralegals. So do insurance companies, healthcare organizations, government agencies, the court systems, the banking industry, real estate. You know, even car dealerships will hire paralegals to do the contract work. Something else we get asked about frequently is, can I freelance? Yes, there are a lot of paralegals out there that work freelance. One of the things that's taught in this program is what you can and cannot do with or without the supervision of a licensed attorney. So if it's your intention to do some freelance work with this skill set, you want to pay particular attention to those lessons in the course. In addition to our salary chart that's listed there, and we have derived these numbers directly from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, which you're free to go out and verify. I want you to keep the statistics in perspective, all right? This is somebody that's been out there working for a year or two, not necessarily entry level. Think of it from an employer point of view. You're not going to pay somebody an average salary for your firm the first day they walk through the door. and your geography is going to make a difference. If you are in the heart of New York City or LA, Miami, very densely populated area, the cost of living is higher. Therefore, the wages are higher. If you're in rural America, small community, it might be a little bit lower. This is a US statistic, and it does predict 12% growth in the industry between now and 2028. You want to go back a slide, Libby, please? Before we go on to talking about the pricing in the books, which is coming up next, I want to let you know that we also have a careers page on our website. That is a special spot on it's a full page. Listings are updated on a regular basis, and that's where employers come to us to post opportunities that they have. Now, it's a national listing. I can't guarantee that we're going to have a listing there for you when you complete the program, but it is certainly worth a look. And if I were you, what I'd be getting out of it is not only places to specifically send my resume, but look at the variety of different types of agencies that are seeking out our graduates. They're not all law firms. Okay, let's go on and talk about the payment plans and the tuition pricing, things like that. When it comes to budgeting for this course, another very frequently asked question is going to be, do you accept financial aid? The answer is no. Federal financial aid dollars are specifically designated for degree-seeking students when you will be in school for 2 to 4 years. This is offered through continuing and professional education. It is a non-credit course. It is a job skills training program, and you're going to be done in 14 weeks. So whereas you can't do financial aid, we do have Affirm payment plans. And that is something that you would select at the checkout screen, where you can very quickly apply in 1 to 2 minutes. It's just a soft hit, not a hard hit on your credit. They are credit-based loans, but the acceptance rate is really a wide range. It'll come back to you with a decision very, very quickly, and it will illustrate for you 3, 6, 12, and 18-month payment options. At that point, you are able to choose if you'd like to participate in that and pay it back over time, or you can certainly check out with a credit card like most students do. You can already see the tuition price there, so let's talk about it for a second. $1,595 tuition. We already mentioned a couple times that the program is 14 weeks. That is delivered over 2 7-week sessions. The $1,595 tuition pays for both sessions. You do not need to pay that money twice. When you get to the checkout screen and you pick the course on our website, you're going to see that we offer 6 online sessions per year. All you need to do is decide when you want to start. You'll select that session date, and then we will automatically enroll you in the session that follows. The 7-week sessions are required to be back-to-back to earn that certificate, and again, that $1,595 is going to pay for both. Your textbooks are not included. There are, if you've already visited our website, which I imagine many of you have, the 6 required textbooks that are listed for the Paralegal Certificate course right underneath the session dates are needed from beginning to end. So it's not some of the books for the first half and some for the second. You need them all from beginning to end. Those books are going to tally up about $400. You're not required to purchase your books from us. However, here's what I'm going to tell you. Our pricing is incredibly competitive. There are books there that are published in-house, which you're going to be hard-pressed to find elsewhere. 2 out of the 6 that you probably need to get from us anyway. But in addition to the pricing there for every book, you'll see a little more info button that'll give you a deeper description of the book and the ISBN number. If you choose to use a book from somewhere else, check that ISBN number, make sure that you've got the right edition and the correct book, because the instructor is going to be referencing it throughout your entire course, and you want to make sure you're on the right page and have the right information at the right time. And again, we do work very hard to maintain competitive pricing on those books. One of the other items that you'll be required to have is a student subscription to Westlaw. Westlaw is the online legal library system, and we're going to get into a little deeper detail about that. So Westlaw is not needed for the first half of your course, but you do need it for the second half. So you've got a choice. When you're putting all your books and materials into your shopping cart, you can certainly add that Westlaw subscription at the beginning. We know when you need it. So if you purchase it up front and want to include it in your Affirm payment plan, then it's just going to be held in reserve. Our admin team will put you on a list and issue that access when the second half of your course begins. So no worries there. If you want to wait and pay the $89 at your halfway point, that is certainly an option, and you can go directly to the bookstore on our website and purchase it as a single item. In addition to that, Westlaw subscriptions are only available at that $89 rate to registered students for our courses. Occasionally we're asked, after I graduate, I love the system, I want to keep it. Can I pay a monthly rate or something like that to keep the subscription? Unfortunately, the answer is no. You would need to be a registered student to yield that price. However, we've got a lot of other courses, and many of our paralegal students do choose to come back and take additional courses down the road. Our college and university partners. The Center for Legal Studies very proudly partners with accredited college and universities across the United States. We work with the continuing education and professional studies departments within those institutions. Up on the screen right now, you're going to see just a small handful of some of our partners. You'll probably recognize their logos. A frequently asked question is, do I have to choose a particular school? How do I know which school to choose? Our advice is choose the one that's in your neck of the woods. If you're going to continue living where you are, you're going to work in that community, and we've got a partner school that is in that area, that's the wise choice. That's the one that is going to be most recognizable to your employer, and that's who's going to issue your certificate when you're finished. Okay, there's no restrictions on which school you choose, but again, that is our advice. And we've been doing this for 40 years. Our graduates are absolutely out there working in the world. And there's one other thing I want to let you know about these schools. When you do go to register on our website, which is really very self-service, it's pretty easy to navigate. You're going to find when you go to pick your school and get to your checkout screen, so you put your course in the shopping cart, and it's going to say on the bottom, add to cart. That means you're going to be able to proceed to our cart and get everything done right then and there. If you have chosen a school that says, call this number, or there's a link that says register with school, that means that you need to click that link and go over to their website to complete your registration. The program is still going to be the same. The pricing is still going to be the same because the courses belong to us. They belong to the Center for Legal Studies. The instructors that are licensed attorneys, high-ranking paralegals that teach our courses, they work for the Center for Legal Studies. But again, that certificate is going to come from one of these schools or one of our many others, because we have almost 170 that we work with. I think I've left up a lot more time for Q&A, which is definitely a good thing, I think. I see some questions down there that we'd like to get answered. Our next steps are going to be enrollment. The phone number is there, which we'll pass out to you again later, and our website if you want to write that down. And the next course does start May 4th, and that is on Monday, so coming up right away. Libby, you've been working really hard in the background along with the rest of our team. Have you got some questions for us?
Yeah, we do have a couple questions. We've been trying to answer them live through the Q&A and the chat. So if you have additional questions, please continue to put those in there. But I think there are a few that are worth addressing for everyone to hear. We had a question from Joy Netta. Is it too late to register for this program, and when is the actual start date? So maybe, Stephanie, if you could address the last date for registration.
Absolutely. I'm going to answer the entire question. It is not too late to register. Absolutely not. We're taking registrations every day. Classes officially start on Monday, May 4th, but it is a very standard practice for us at the Center for Legal Studies to allow late registration. So the last date that you could get into this current session would be next Friday at midday. That would be May 8th. But I'm going to very strongly recommend to you, if you plan on joining us this session, register now. Get your books ordered now so that we have time to ship you your books. We drop ship those books all over the country. It can take anywhere from 2 to 4 business days, and we want you to start off on the right foot. So yes, we accept late registration, but it's open now, and we would love to have you join us.
Great, thank you. Our next question is, do they have to apply for the admissions?
No, our courses are open enrollment through continuing and professional education. There is no application process. You do not need to wait to be accepted. This is open enrollment, which means anyone can take it. Many of our students may already have a degree, associates, bachelor's, master's. We even have people with PhDs come to take this because it's not the degree they're looking for, it's the job skill training. And the minimum requirement is high school diploma or GED. And that's not because we want you to dig your diploma out of the basement and prove it to us. It's so that our students understand these courses are taught on a college level. Therefore, the minimum requirement is you've got college level reading and writing skills. Otherwise, like I said earlier, open enrollment. Anyone can take this course.
Great, thank you, Stephanie. Can you talk about if this certificate is able to be used nationwide?
Absolutely. Paralegal is an unregulated profession, except for those of you folks that are joined us from California. California does actually have regulations, which means you need to comply with the code, and you can do that with our courses by completing the paralegal and the advanced paralegal. If that's a special case for you, you might want to reach out to our enrollment counselors. But as far as being able to use it nationwide, yes, we teach on a U.S. federal level. Within the program, you may have specific assignments where they ask you to use your jurisdiction. So you'd use your specific state rules, but the curriculum as a whole is developed on a federal level, and once you earn your certificate, you own it. And you can take it anywhere. So if you're starting in Florida, you want to move to Texas, or you want to go to New York, you take it with you. You don't have to retrain.
Great, thank you, Stephanie. We're getting a couple questions just about the specific areas of focus in the certificate. We had one question, is there any focus on areas, i.e. family, real estate law, IP searches?
Those kind of things are available in our Advanced Paralegal Certificate course, which is a secondary program to this one. The Paralegal Certificate, you're going to get your foundational skill set. The Advanced Paralegal, which you'd be qualified to take if you're already paralegal, if you've worked 1 or 2 years in the field, or if you completed this program. So that one is comprised of 15 different specialty topics of law, things like real property law, immigration law, family law, criminal law, etc. In order to earn that advanced certificate, you would take 6 out of the 15. We allow students to take them 1 at a time or up to 3 in a single session. If you're a California student, you need to plan to take that program to comply with the California Business and Professions Code. If you're in any other state in the nation, that program is voluntary for you after this one. And I can tell you about 50% of our students nationwide do pursue the advanced program, not because they have to, but because they want to. It helps you to be more marketable. The more skills you have, the more valuable you are.
Okay, great. Another question we have is any background or previous experience or requirements as far as a college degree or years experience that you recommend?
You know, this program is designed for people from all levels. of experience. We have paralegals that have been out in the field working for 20 years and just learned on the job, because back in the day you could do that. Today it's a little bit more competitive, and you really need to have a certificate in your hand. So they are looking to get their promotion and they come back for the certificate. We have others that have never taken a legal course, never worked in a law firm in their life, and they're able to get up to speed with the training and secure employment. So whether you are here because you've just got a passion for the law and this is something you always wanted to do, this is the right program. If you've already been working in the industry and you need that certificate to move up in your world, then you're with the right program. So either way, it's designed for both.
Thank you, Stephanie. Our next question comes from Rhonda. Does this certificate qualify you for the Paralegal Association test?
If you're referring to, I believe you're referring to the NALA exam, the National Association of Legal Assistants. Key letter in that is that A for association. That is a voluntary measure on your part. It is out there, and it actually would yield you the title certified paralegal. So I want to distinguish very clearly. I'm glad you asked that, because there's a big difference between holding a certificate and being certified. Paralegal is unregulated. It's not like being a certified electrician or a certified public accountant, a CPA. Paralegals work under the supervision of a licensed attorney. NALA, where that test is given, and there's another organization out there too called NAFPA, they both have paid for exams, and you can yield the title certified or registered paralegal. They literally trademarked those words. They bought those words. They don't hold any regulatory authority whatsoever. Majority of our paralegals, and we roughly train about 6,000 to 8,000 paralegals a year, more than any other training program in the country. Most of our paralegals never sit for that exam. If they do, like I said, it's a little bit down the road. They're looking to do it for a pay raise or a promotion. But if you want to do it, you can contact our enrollment counselors about the requirements. You know, it's like a bachelor degree and 225 clock hours of training, which we can get you that training.
Great, thank you, Stephanie. We're also getting a couple of questions on if you have any details on your percentage of pass rates for the certificates.
We do. We are very proud to let you know that our completion rate is above 80%. And that it's an awesome number. I don't want you to let that number let you think this program's fluffy. It's not. You're going to work hard, guaranteed. Our students are here because they want to be. They work hard. They know that the skills that they're learning are going to help them in their careers, advance them. These are life-changing programs. If you are a career changer or you're trying to rise in a current career, either way, the things that you learn in this program are going to be real-world skills. You're going to use them on the job. And so we are very proud of that above 80% completion rate.
Thank you. We had one question. As far as selecting the university or school of their choice, what's your recommendation on going about that? We had one attendee that asked about, he's from Nevada, and there's not a program offered within his state. So do you have a recommendation?
That is correct. We are, at my last count, and somebody will correct me down the road if I'm wrong, but I want to say that we are currently in 45 or 46 out of 50 states. Nevada does happen to be one of the states that we do not currently have a partner school. So I would recommend that you choose something that is going to be close. We've got a lot of partners in California. Closest one to the Nevada line is going to be Cal State Bakersfield. To the north, we work with Dixie State University in Utah. And that would certainly be our recommendation, is just draw a bigger radius. Because it's taught on a federal level, you don't need a state-specific school necessarily. Just choose the closest one to you.
Thank you. We're getting a couple of payment financial questions. One being, does the Affirm payment need to be connected with your bank accounts? And also a question about FAFSA. Could you explain the reason why FAFSA is not accepted?
FAFSA is not accepted because those monies and those financial aid programs are designed and designated for degree-seeking students. This is not a degree program. You will not be in school 2 to 4 years. You're going to be here for 14 weeks. It's a non-credit program, so no financial aid. As far as the Affirm payment plan, it is based on your personal credit, and they do an automatic debit for those monthly payments. That's why you need to have a bank account attached to it. Okay, like I said earlier, there is a very wide range of credit they'll accept. It's possible that you could get a cosigner or something like that if your credit is not strong enough to qualify. And when you fill out that application, if by chance it comes back not approved, there is a 1-800 number for you to contact Affirm directly. We at the Center for Legal Studies cannot tell you why you were or were not approved. That's why it goes to an outside source. And the Affirm folks are standing, pardon me, the Affirm folks are standing by to assist you with that. Okay?
Great, thank you, Stephanie. Also, getting a couple advanced paralegal certificate questions. So if we wanted to answer those questions as far as the next steps and who you would recommend that for.
The advanced program is designed for people that want to specialize in very specific areas. The qualifiers to participate in that program are going to be that you already have a paralegal certificate, you have taken our paralegal certificate, or you have worked in the capacity of a paralegal for at least 1 to 2 years. The reason for that is advanced topics require advanced skills. We want to make sure that we're going to set you up for success. So if that is a program that you're interested in pursuing, which we've talked about a couple of times here, then all the information is available on our website, and you can certainly reach out to our enrollment counselors and they'll help guide you through it in a little more depth.
Great, thank you. We're getting a couple of post-completion questions when it comes to employment or internships. Do you help find employment after the course? Do you help find internships?
We don't do any internships per se. We do have the careers page that I mentioned earlier in our presentation that is available on our website. My advice to students who have completed the program and are on their way out to secure employment would be cast a wide net. Go back to the information that I gave you that they don't only work in law firms. Paralegals work everywhere. And you're going to conduct this job search the same way you would any other. Look on all major job boards, Indeed, Monster.com. There's so many of them out there for you to check. Don't discount Craigslist. Some of the smaller firms are going to be likely to post their opportunities there because the big job boards cost money and they like to save. So definitely take a look at that. I encourage folks to network with anyone they know in the industry. Set up your profile on LinkedIn, do social networking. The opportunities are definitely out there. And when you're looking for a full-time job, it's not something you apply to once a week. You put your resume out everywhere and secure those interviews. When you go to an interview, it's not just about having the certificate in your hand. You need to dress right. You need to show up on time. You need to be somebody they want to hire. So having the skills is one thing, but put it together with the rest of your package and you're going to find good things.
Great, thank you, Stephanie. Getting a couple of questions on California requirements. Does it take any longer with the California requirements?
It does. This paralegal certificate course that we're talking about today is a 14-week training delivered over 2 7-week sessions. The advanced program, which California folks are going to need to take in order to be in compliance with the California Business and Professions Code, which dictates how many hours you must invest in your training. The advanced program can be completed in as fast as 14 weeks. So you need to take 6 topics out of the 15, and if you did 3 plus 3, that's 14 additional weeks. But if you wanted to go slower, you certainly could. We allow students up to 12 months to complete those 6 topics, and your clock would start ticking when you took the first one.
Thank you. We have a question from Lori. We also have a legal secretary program course, and she would like to know, do you think it makes sense to start with a legal secretary and then move on to paralegal?
You know, it depends on what your final goals are, Lori. If you have no legal background, you haven't been in school for a really long time, maybe you didn't end up getting a college degree yet, then you might want to baby step it. If you don't want to have the full responsibility of being a paralegal, which is a responsible role in a legal environment, if you want to be more of a secretary that works in a legal environment and do phones and more filing and more secretarial work, then absolutely, that's where you want to start. If you're really not sure, then you can certainly go to our website and pull up the syllabus for each. Those syllabi will list the learning objectives for every course, and it's right there listed out for you in bullet points. You figure out what's the best fit for you. We tell you in that document exactly what we're going to teach, so you know what you'll be learning. And just compare them and see what's a fit for you. Everybody's a little bit different. Sometimes if English is not your first language, if your reading and writing skills are not very strong, you might want to start with legal secretary and then go to paralegal. But if paralegal is your goal and you are capable of the college level work, then it's really not necessary to take the legal secretary first. Dive right in, start your course. We'll help get you trained so that you're work ready as quickly as possible.
Great, thank you, Stephanie. We're getting a few more questions when it comes to certified paralegals, certificated paralegals, NALA, ABA approved. Can you reiterate some of those guidelines?
Okay, sure. The difference between certificated, that means you hold a certificate, means you've been trained. So I want to put that in a better perspective compared to a degree. When you earn an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, and you go out in the world to work and that's on your resume, an employer does not necessarily look at what you majored in. They see that you earned that degree, and at an associate's level, they presume that you have done your general education. When you've got your bachelor's degree, they presume that yes, you've completed all your general ed, you've specialized in something, and you are a more mature adult. When you have a certificate in your hand, that specifically tells an employer that you have been trained to do the job. Now, the difference between holding that certificate and being certified, you don't need to be certified because this is an unregulated profession. You're not an electrician. You're not a certified public accountant in that sense of the word. In paralegal, the word certified, the word registered are not requirements, they're voluntary measures, because NALA and NAFPA, those organizations, trademarked the words. They literally said, certified paralegal is now, those words are owned by NALA. So no one can call themselves a certified paralegal unless you pay them money and sit for their test. It's not a requirement. It's not a regulated industry. It's not something you have to do. It's something you can choose to do down the road. Now, ABA, we get asked that, and the simple answer is no. We are not ABA approved, and we have no intention of being so. The ABA, like NALA, like NAFPA, that's an association. They don't hold any regulatory authority whatsoever. If you're in California, you need to comply with the code. If you're anywhere else in the country, the certificate's going to suffice and you are ready to enter the field. So as far as the ABA goes, that the schools that you see or programs you see that have that stamp, those schools paid a ton of money just to have that stamp on their program. It doesn't mean they're better than anything else. It does mean they're longer. The ABA's programs are going to be a minimum of 18 months, and it does mean they're more expensive because the schools paid the ABA. It's really a money-making venture for them. And the schools paid them, so they're going to turn around and recoup their dollars from you. You're going to pay a minimum of $10,000 to $25,000 for one of those courses. And you're not really going to be better trained. They also are not going to train you 100% online because they don't believe in that. In today's day and age, especially in the last couple of months, 100% online is definitely where it's at. You can go get a master's degree online today, and it is just as respected as if you sat in a classroom.
Great. I want to be respectful of everyone's time as well. We just have a couple more minutes that we've allocated for this webinar. So a couple housekeeping items. We are going to send out a follow-up email. So if you've registered for this webinar, you will get an email. That email will include a recording of this webinar. If you want to readdress any of the topics discussed, it'll also include a survey to get your feedback. And of course, our contact information that if you come up with additional questions, we're happy to address those for you. So just a couple more minutes left to answer questions. So make sure you get your questions in the chat box, and we'll have Stephanie answer just a few more questions. Stephanie, we have a question from Louisa, and she's asking, can we get an idea of the tests given during the course? Are they timed, multiple choice, essays, and what all do those include?
There are some written answers, there's some multiple choice, they are not timed. I think the best answer for that, Louisa, is going to be that I don't want you to focus on tests and quizzes. That's not what, this program is not about memorizing a bunch of stuff to pass a test. It's about developing the skills you need to go out in the world and actually do the job. So back to that original comment I made about 70% or better on tests. If you bomb a test, you're going to receive some additional instruction and you're going to take that test over. We want you to be successful. Okay, so we want to focus on getting the skills, developing them, being able to apply them in a real world setting. That's the goal of this program.
Great, and we actually had one question similar to that as far as retake goes and what that looks like for tests.
As far as retaking the test, the instructors will let you know when you can redo that. Probably be within the same week, pretty soon thereafter. Okay,
great.
Let's go on to the next question.
Yeah, I think we're actually out of time for questions. So like I said, thank you all for joining us and your participation and your great questions. Look for an email follow-up from us. And just to reiterate, the course start date is May 4th. So we're taking enrollments, and now is a great time to get started. So let us know how we can help you get enrolled.
Absolutely. On behalf of all of the staff at CLS and my team behind the scenes helping with all the technical things today, and all of you for taking time out of your busy day to join us. We appreciate that. We thank you, and we look forward to having you join us.